Oh, it's working. Let's go. Right. Light here. Oh, you can see the shadow. That's a bit too extreme. Maybe here. How do I get rid of that? Oh, I think that will get rid of it automatically when. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, so today we're gonna be drawing this water bottle right here. I'm gonna try to put it like this so you can see it. It looks like that. I'm gonna be attempting to draw that on the table. I actually haven't drawn anything in a pretty long time, so I don't know if I still will be able to, but I'm gonna follow this guy because I actually forgot how to do 2-point perspective. So I'm gonna be watching this to basically see
what you're going for. So what does that mean?
So you have a straight line first, of course.
Now instead of drawing a square for a house like I did last time with one vanishing point, with this you just draw a straight vertical line.
Oh, that's not straight. Okay,
you know, it can be mostly above or mostly below.
So straight vertical line. Like
the horizon line. Just depends on what you're going for. I'm going to make it like that.
And then...
And now
what he does that to make a building. Okay. So what I can do then probably is to... I drawn a piece of tape before. Let me have a look. And a piece of tape. Where is it? I drew the outline, then I connected the top and the bottom sort of to the horizon line. So if I wanted to do the water bottle, I would have to do this at the bottom here, then sort of make it trace up like that, so it goes up like that, then have it sort of converge here, then have it sort of the same on the other side, where it goes up then around like that, and sort of goes around like that, have it converge there, and then also have essentially this line going like this line going like that, and this line going like this, and then that sort of curling around like that. So that's essentially the water bottle. And then I would have to have each sort of one of the vanishing points going to there, and this one going to there, but I don't really want to do specifically anything in the background just yet. So let's say we want the vanishing points to be like there and there, so we would have to have the vanishing point like here. So to make that straight, oh, I just leaned into the mic. That was probably pretty loud. Sorry. That's not very good. That's okay. I would have to put this here and this here, and then I would have to basically put this all the way here, and then this all the way here. And if I wanted to add something in the background, I would add it later. But basically, to do the water bottle, or to make it look 3D rather, I would have to add essentially the water inside first of all. So the water inside is like this thing that's, well, let's add this first actually. Let's add this because we need this to sort of cover some of the water inside. So there's essentially a thing here, and then on the inside that goes inside like this, and then there's an outer layer that sort of goes on like this around the bottle. So that's sort of the inside, and then we can make that look like the inside because we need to add the shading to it, I think. So specifically there is sort of the light is coming from this direction, so if we imagine this, there's sort of shading. If we actually look at the shading inside the water bottle as well, there's sort of shading around here, and there's sort of, it's covered by that, so that sort of goes inside like that. And then as it sort of gets around here, it gets kind of lighter. So that kind of does that. And that's a little transparent, so there's a tiny bit of shading going on down here, but it's not too big. I'm gonna try to not add the details of the water bottle just yet. I think what I need for this to work is just the fact that the sort of thing on the water bottle is depicted as transparent. So what I need to do that is I kind of need the lines of the water bottle. So I need a line here, I need a line here, I need a line here, and I need a line here, let's say, and then these lines connect with the back of the water bottle. So like there's also a line that goes on over here, and a line that goes on over here, line that goes on over there, and a line that goes on over there, and then these lines are all sort of throughout the water bottle. So there's actually a line going up here, sort of reflected in the back over here, and there's more lines that sort of go below the water bottle. So you can sort of see lines that are transparent that sort of go throughout the water bottle, even inside the layers like this. And then from there, those lines are connected also to here like this. 1, 2, 3. And I should probably make them a bit closer, so they're more obvious like that. And then in terms of the shading inside, I think there's just sort of more shading towards this side here. There's this side here, and then there's just water around the bottle, add around here and here. So let's make this the water, so that's kind of wobbly, that kind of goes around the bottle and follows the grooves of the bottle. So that's the water inside, and then we can make that look like water inside because inside there are also lines, but they're more wobbly, I think. Not really, but we're just going to go with that, and then that is essentially what the bottle looks like. And then the water, I think we're just going to make the water a slightly different color, even though it's not technically a different color. If it's a different color, I think it'll be easier to see as water once it's in the actual outside of the bottle, so that's sort of ideal. And the lines are kind of like wobbly there, and then wobbly there. And then I'm gonna make this also kind of like water. And then in terms of the shading, there is like, I'm not actually sure where the shading goes. I think there's a bit of shading like on this side. So there's like, how it goes out like this. And then there's a tiny bit of shading coming from the kind of bottom of the bottle. Like this. And that is sort of the water bottle. Okay, I think that looks okay. I think it doesn't look amazing, but you can kind of tell that it's got like this layer, especially this shading. I think that was okay. Like I did a okay job at that, but that's essentially the water bottle, and we can add some more to it by adding the sort of grooves to the cap like this. So maybe these outside like that, and these, each of them coming down into the water bottle like this. And then the shading sort of on the top of the cap happening in this direction, getting a bit lighter as you press slowly throughout there. Okay, that's the water bottle. And then let's say we wanted to add like, I don't know, the water in it is a bit hard to tell. You can't really tell there's water inside. I'm trying to make that a bit more obvious, I guess. Still doesn't look too much like water, but I think that's essentially how you would do it very basically, except there's a sort of sense dot in the middle and the cap is not drawn the best, but that's okay. I think in terms of what I would do after this, I'm not really sure. I probably want to add, let's say I wanted to add like on the same sort of surface level, like a box to the back. So I would have to make the box sort of like this, and then I'd have to add 2-point perspective. So maybe going like to here. Oh, it would have to go to the same vanishing points, that's right. So this aspect of the box would actually have to go here, and this would have to go here. And I can do this technically without really rule. I think this one would have to go all the way over here, this one would have to go all the way over here, and then, although this would definitely be better with a rule, I think. So if I wanted the box to go there, I would have to draw this one here, and maybe let's say split this one here. I would do that, and this would be the box, sorry, and then I wouldn't really have to add a surface level to that. If I wanted to make it flat, how would I do that? I guess in this case you can't really see the surface level of the box, but if the box was like here, for example, then you would have to do the top of the box. So if the box was like here and then here, then you would have to connect the top like that, and then that would be the box, I'm guessing. Does that look right? That doesn't really look right. I feel like that's wrong. How would I make the top of the box? Would I connect it to here? That still doesn't look right. How do you usually see a box in 2-point perspective? Let's have a look at this. So if we were to put this box like that, Oh, so all of these points would have to go to the vanishing point, I think. So this one would have to go. This one would have to go here, and then this one would have to go here. I mean, essentially pick a vanishing point for it to go to. So if that goes there, then that would essentially go like that, and then this. Well, I guess like this is not really that good, but basically, if I wanted to make it a straight line, let's try that. Let's fix this. So put this over here, and then this would go there. That's essentially what the box would look like. Although that still looks a bit wrong. I don't think that looks right. Maybe it's because this is not that side. Maybe it's because I need to connect it to the other side. So this one. But if I connect it to the other side, wouldn't that just be like that? Hang on, how let me think about this. So if the box is like this. Oh, I think I got it. So this would have to go here, but then this would have to go here. And then the point where these two connect is essentially the box, so right here. Well, I guess they would have to sort of have equal weight, but they don't have equal weight because, yeah, it's on this side. So that's essentially where the box lies. And that's the top of the box. I don't know, let's say you wanted this box to essentially be... Is that right? I think that looks a bit more right. Yeah, that looks a bit more right. Except I think I messed up the exact angle of this a little bit, but that's essentially how it would look, like that. And then if I wanted to label the box, I don't know, like let's say T, I would have to put that. How do I do the T and the E? T, E, like that, I guess, kind of. And if I wanted to label this like, I don't know, coffee, I have to go like no, that's really bad. Coffee, like that. Except that that's not really directly on the thing. It has to go up here, uphill, kind of. Like that. That's still not right. I think that it would have to sort of, each of these ones would technically have to go to this vanishing point. So coffee and then R. So that would go like here. And then, no, I'm too lazy to do this. I just do it like this. Coffee, there we go. And then this would be like where the boxes are. And if the light was coming from over here, then the shading of the boxes would have to go, I don't really know, let's see. So if we have, well, let's guess actually, because it would be around here, right? There'd be more sort of darkness over here, and then it'd get lighter as you sort of went into that direction. So something like that, kind of. And it'd be a similar idea at the top. Gets lighter the more you go out, darker the more you go in, like that. Coffee, same idea here, so it goes lighter as you go out, darker as you go in. Is that right? That doesn't, I feel like that's not right. I don't know. Oh, it's because I've done the same lightness for the top and the bottom, even though it should probably be a bit less light on the bottom, because what's it called? Because and then this would go like that. There we go. Yeah, like that. Except it should probably be a bit less light. It's going here, so it probably that like that, and that's kind of how it would go. It'd be a bit less light for the bottom. I'm just checking if I had any viewers. I do not. I'm gonna cry, but I think. Wait, would it be light at the top here? Or... Yeah, it would be a bit lighter at the top because it's a bit darker on here and a bit tiny bit lighter at the top here. Because that's essentially where the light is coming from, and then as it gets into this direction, you get lighter and lighter. Okay. And then if we wanted to, basically, 好，再过2分钟 make this essentially the bottom of the table. So let's say this was all placed on the table. This is essentially how it would go, and then if we removed some of these lines. Ah! No, I ruined. Oh no, what did I do? I don't wanna. It's alright, it's not that big of a deal, but I don't wanna remove my beautiful water bottle. I don't wanna ruin it. I wanna destroy it. It's so nice and pretty. This is essentially what it would look like on the table right here. And then I would have to get rid of this thing in the middle as well, because that's a coffee box and that has nothing to do with the thing. So like that. So tea here, coffee there, and water bottle there, and table is here. And the sun is there. Perfect, that's pretty good. I think I'm starting to get to the point where I'm actually starting to think my drawings look kind of resemblant of things that you see in everyday life, and that's good. But what I'm trying to focus on actually, in this series, is I'm trying to focus on anime drawings, and I want to focus on like fantasy things, so not really things that you see in everyday life. So I'm trying to learn, I guess, still portraits right now, because I don't know if this is true or not, but I think it probably will be helpful in terms of when I want to draw like more advanced things, like how to draw anime and how to draw like Japanese sort of art, kawaii art style, and things like that in the future. But I guess we'll find out soon, because I do want to finish the current guide I'm on, the sort of episode by episode, and then I want to move on to anime. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye bye.